Greetings, Team Military. Hey, Sean was kind enough to allow me to pass on a short greeting to you since, as it turned out, I wasn't able to make the conference in person this year. For those who might not be aware, we found out a couple of weeks ago that Susan needed to have an ablation of her heart done to correct a rhythm problem. The ablation was completed on Monday, and there's a short convalescence following that, so I just felt like my place was here with her as she recovers and we assess the results of the ablation. Anyway, had I been there, it would have been mostly just to be present with you all, and I hope encourage you to remain strong in the grace that is ours in Christ Jesus, as 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1 says. Hey team, I'm not going to pretend like the last 2 years have not been challenging. I've talked about that, others have as well, but what we do, making disciples who make disciples, matters. It really matters for eternity. And I can say for sure that I know of no place where that compelling generational vision to reach the many through deep life-to-life investment in the faithful few is being lived out more fully than in the military mission of the Navigator. So stay with it. Over the past 4 years, I've had a chance to be with many of you in your local ministries around the country. I think the thing that has grabbed me the most when I'm out in the field with you all and encouraged me in each location was the spiritual hunger I saw in place after place being stirred up among our military and first responder laborers as staff or other laborers invest in them life to life. These laborers are asking great questions like, how do I get more of this? How do I sustain this for a lifetime? How do I do this well in a military or first responder world that's constantly changing? And even better than providing stock answers, everyone in this room and many more who couldn't be here are living out those answers, the answers to those questions before their very eyes. Since the days of Jesus, that has always been the way to make disciples. I know it's hard. I know it's been especially hard these past several years. I get it. I've lived that right alongside all of you. But it is worth it. Stay with it. At the end of every year, I ask God for a verse, something that can anchor me in the coming year. And God has never failed to give me that verse. For 2023, it was 2 Timothy 2:3. You therefore must endure hardship as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. I remember asking the Lord about that a year ago. Are you sure, Lord? Maybe you were one verse off. Didn't you really mean 2 Timothy 2:2? I understand fully now why it was that verse. I'm sure we all do. But that's the way it's always been. Entrusting what we have been taught to faithful men and women who will be able to teach others also has always required enduring hardship. That's not the real issue. The real issue is, after having done that, does it matter? And I want to say one final time, it does matter. Stay with it. Endure the hardship. Keep making disciples who make disciples. Team, over the past 2 years, Marvin and I have worked together, we've laughed together, we've cried together, prayed together, agreed, disagreed, and on a few occasions even gone toe-to-toe privately with our swords, the living kind, out and sharpened to a fine edge. Most of that's also happened with our entire national field leadership teams as well. Yet through it all, I've come to know Marvin and all of those on those same teams as men and women who deeply love Jesus and long to see his kingdom come, and disciple makers multiplying just like you and me. It's been hard, and it's been rewarding. It was worth it. I'm thankful for that verse that God gave me. I'm thankful I stayed with it. And so I want to end by calling your remembrance to something, and that's this. We in the military mission were first. We were where the Navigators began. So this week, can I encourage you just to set the differences aside and really celebrate together as one? celebrate our mighty God and the amazing work He's been doing and continues to do for 90 years in the Navigators military mission. Celebrate with our Navigator brothers and sisters here who are representing other nations, brothers and sisters from other missions, from our cities, from our networks, business and support ministries, and join together with them all in praying that God will continue to do for many, many more years to come what He has already done for the past 90, which is to continue to call us as navigators to be people who are sold out to making disciples who make disciples. Susan and I miss you all. We love you all. We long to be with you. I'm sad that we can't. We're lifting you up in our prayers without ceasing. Have a great muster and a great conference that follows.